Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is J.R. Moore coming to you live from deep in the mountains of the Missouri Ozarks on Wednesday, the second day of October, year of our Lord 2013. Welcome to the John Moore Show. Our meetup this week, the J.R. Moore Radio Show meetup, will be at 7 p.m. at the Benton Square Restaurant in Rolla, Missouri. Details at my website, thelibertyman.com. Our topic this week will be firearms safety, proper and safe usage of firearms, storage of firearms, and selection of firearms. Dinner in the common dining area at 6 p.m., meeting at 7 p.m. in the private meeting room upstairs in the Benton Square Restaurant. No cover charge, free and open to the public. You do not have to attend the dinner to come to the meetup. We have Professor James McCanney waiting for us patiently in the green room. Before we get to Jim, a couple of quick news items. At Before It's News, there is a interview with a gentleman who's very knowledgeable of Middle East matters, giving documentation that our President Hussein Obama, his brother, is a high-level operative in a terrorist organization, and giving the details of that. Plus also at Steve Quayle's website and InfoWars and RevolutionRadio.org, a story about Oath Keepers going operational, setting up what amounts to 12-man A-teams around the country to help preserve and protect property and lives. An interesting story. We do have patiently waiting in the green my friend Professor James McCanney. Professor McCanney is a credentialed astrophysicist, a mathematician who cracked a several thousand-year-old mathematical puzzle a couple of years ago. Congratulations, Jim. And a radio talk show host, author, and a man that we rely on for a lot of excellent information. Good morning, Jim.
John, good morning. How are you?
Real good, sir. I went to check the time of the official U.S. government time clock this morning, and it was shut down because the government was shut down. They shut down this website, which is an automated system that doesn't require any human beings to attend to. I was a bit shocked, Jim, and I guess you're not surprised, though, are you?
Yeah, the same thing happened with the NASA websites, and so these are automated, they're already funded, they're already paid for, and it makes you realize that we literally do not have any more federal government.
Yes.
It's gone. It's gone. And,
well, that's the intent.
This, John, this made me realize that this would be the time. I think they're advancing the time in which they want to pull the power outage and the cyber attack and all the other goofy stuff that would bring in basically a new banking system, new world order, and basically martial law, just whatever changes they care to make, without Congress, without anybody's approval, and with middle manager Obama at the helm.
Well, knocking out the power grid has been in the offing for quite a while. The TV miniseries America, spelled with a K, back in the mid-1980s. We didn't know at the time because very few of us had access to the book that the miniseries was based on. But that takeover of the United States by Russia, the beginning point of that was an EMP attack. So they've been warning us for basically 30 years, haven't they?
Yeah. So, as far as I'm concerned, I'm the federal government. I actually put a posting on my page. I said, in lieu of the fact that we don't have a federal government anymore, as far as I'm concerned, I'm the federal government, and if you want to follow what I tell you to do, that's your prerogative, because you don't have a federal government right now.
Well, Jim, when the show's over, Jim, I want to apply for $1 million grant from the federal government that you're running.
Well, gee, yeah, you have it.
All right, way to go.
All we have to do is write on a piece of paper the amount of money, and it's there. That's what the government does.
Absolutely.
But then somebody has to pay it back according to our current system.
Well, grants don't need to be, loans need to be paid back, but grants don't need to be. So, I'll be applying for a grant. Anyway, Jim, the news, of course, for quite a while, a number of months here, have been Comet ISON. There's been a lot of disinformation put out there. speculation fueled by NASA. Give us an update on Comet ISON, if you would, please, sir.
And by the way, this is the update. I'll be doing a complete review tomorrow night on my show. But here's what's going on. Comet ISON approached and has now passed Mars. Mars went comet, and I observed it. I had other people observe it, and it might be one of the reasons that the government shut down, because the coma around Mars is now extremely visible. This is an event we have not seen in thousands of years. I am amazed at this, at the effect that took place. A number of days ago, actually on the 24th, the Comet ISON went green, one of my predictions, where it basically turned into a neon light bulb. And the elements that luminesce in green are carbon monoxide and arsenic and some of the other elements that are common in comet tails. But, of course, NASA had their little, it's ultraviolet light from the sun. Well, what's so special about ultraviolet light near Mars? Why don't comets do this in other places?
Exactly.
All the time. You know, their explanations are so stupid that they're first level thinking at worst. But at any rate, 2 days ago on the 30th, Comet ISON developed the sunward spike that I predicted. I said, yeah, it's going to start connecting. It did. It was a visible, extremely visible sunward spike. Within the days of passing Mars, right now, Mars is in the tail of Comet ISON, and Mars itself has gone comet.
Hold that thought, Jim. The call number is 800-313-9443. We'll be back after the break. All right, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. This is J.R. Moore. It is Wednesday, the second day of October. We're visiting with Professor James McCanney. Professor McCanney's website is linked on my links page at thelibertyman.com. Interesting website. He's got literally hundreds and hundreds of hours of radio shows archived there and a live show every week. Jim, how can people listen to your live radio show?
Evening, 6 time on WWCR out of Nashville, shortwave, and we're still on the summertime frequency of 9.350. That may change soon. And then Friday evening, 10 p.m., Saturday morning, 3 a.m. Central Time. It airs on WTWW out of Nashville. And I forget the frequency there, but all this information, including the archives of the show, which many, many people listen to the archives, are contained on my webpage, jmccsci.com. That's 7 letters. And I believe you have a link to my page on your page, John.
That's right.
So all of that information, how to listen, etc., is on my webpage.
Yeah, and also on your webpage is details on how to order your excellent books, aren't there?
Yeah, all of the books, the DVDs, pretty complete education on science and how the world works today, and putting ourselves into perspective as human beings. A lot of information there. So
absolutely, and I encourage everybody to check that out and get those books and read them and get yourself educated. Jim, before the break, we were talking about Comet ISON. Let's go ahead and finish that part of our discussion.
Comet ISON is, very interesting. And by the way, all of the hype you hear, the end of the world, it's the planet coming in, it's Nibiru, none of this is true. Right. Comet ISON is a relatively small comet. It has no direct path involving Earth at all. And so I just want to clarify that. But it's an extremely interesting comet, and I almost think, this is so important to hide this information from the public. It's so important to the so-called world leaders that I even have considered that the entire shutdown of the federal government is to hide the information regarding Comet ISON.
Well,
in the fact that it's the timing is very strange. October 1st was the first day that Comet ISON really started to interact with Mars. And like I say, this is an event we have not seen in 3,500 years or more as Earthlings. And the fact that a comet would interact with a planet, and then right now the planet itself is going comet. I've received emails from other people who have observed this too. My personal, I've been up myself many nights looking at this, and my viewing conditions this morning were absolutely beyond crystal clear. And I watched this going on for way more than an hour with extremely good equipment. What's interesting is all of the NASA equipment is offline, and that data is being taken. NASA is quiet as a church mouse. All of their websites are offline, and I suspect that the majority of scientists are being barred from seeing this. They're out on the street, and like many people, when they're off the job, so to speak, when the government ain't paying them, they're not there. They cannot go into their facility. They cannot do their job. They can't be a scientist and say, oh, I'm so interested in my science, even if you don't pay me, I'll go do it. No, their door is shut. They're locked out.
They're locked out. You mean.
They have, yeah, absolutely. So the scientists themselves cannot see the data that is coming in. And of course, the military is around. The Tier 1 level military and the scientists that work with the military get to see the data, but that'll never get to you and me. So right now, I'm the only source reporting actual live data from Comet ISON. So that's what a strange situation.
But this
event, this event is astronomically, in terms of astronomical history, is an event that is, like I say, extremely important because we have not witnessed a comet come this close to a planet in that long, and certainly in modern history. So to see Mars interact with the comet, first the comet starting to interact, turns green, develops the sunward spike, then connects with Mars. Now, I want to tell you what the data that NASA is hiding and the military, what it is showing.
Please.
It is showing auroras on Mars. It's showing the interaction of the electrical discharges between the comet and Mars. It's showing all of a sudden the comet brightening tremendously, which it is right now. It has grown tremendously over the last day. And then Mars developing a comet coma. Literally about the size of a quarter the size of the full moon in the sky, and it's very visible. So this is an astronomical event of historical proportions, and NASA is shut down.
Now, Jim, NASA's automated systems are recording and storing all this information. Do you have any opinion one way or the other if NASA will release the stored information on what's going on once the government gets open again for business?
No, absolutely not. What will happen to these scientists, in fact, what's going to happen to the federal government is going to be very interesting if they ever come back.